What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. And yeah, I wanted to talk about this video that I saw on Gizmodo.com talking about superhero fatigue. As you guys know, everybody's always talking about superhero fatigue when it comes to Marvel, when it comes to DC, because of the box office and how that's been looking, and just kind of the overall general buzz, you know, coming out of superhero content lately. You know, I've been discussing Loki and how it seems like nobody's watching Loki. Nobody's talking about Loki. Loki has completely disappeared out of the atmosphere. Like, where is this show and where's the buzz for this show? And maybe it has a little bit to do with superhero fatigue. Maybe that's the reason why you don't see a lot of buzz about it and it doesn't seem like very many people are watching it. So I wanted to go ahead and check out this video on Gizmodo and kind of react to it. I'll pause it along the way and make my comments.
I think sometimes it's so like oversaturated with a lot of heroes. Like, we get bored because we have so much. So it's hard to see something that maybe would be more exciting where we've seen it maybe one too many times, especially if it's like a remake.
Now, to that effect, I can understand what she's saying, but let me just add a point of clarification. There's been an oversaturation of bad shows and bad movies, all right? Because the studios are just trying to cash in on the superhero genre. That's all that's going on here, you know? Good shows, good movies. Hey, give us an overabundance of that. You can never saturate us too much with good shows and good movies. But bad stuff, yeah. And so, like, when you look at DC, like how DC had 4 films this year, that's kind of an oversaturation if none of those films are any good. Or the same thing with Marvel, where Marvel will have, you know, 4 shows, 4 movies, all crammed into a single year, especially Marvel. Not so much DC. DC had the 4 films this year, but that's kind of an aberration. They don't really do that much. But Marvel, absolutely. Marvel just crams us with nothing but bad content, especially over phase 4 and phase 5. So the oversaturation point that she's making, I completely agree with it. But just that point of clarification that it's the bad shows and it's the bad movies that are oversaturated. If everything was good, we would be totally happy. We would be on board with that. Now, from the remake standpoint, yeah, I'll agree. Too many remakes, too many reboots, too many sequels. There's way too many superheroes that live out there in, you know, in the comic book universe for them to have to do that time and time again. I mean, we're already on what, our third, like, you know, Spider-Man in the last 15 years. We're on our third Batman in the last 15 years. We're actually going on to our 4th Batman, depending on who James Gunn decides to add to his universe. And then what are we on? 3rd Superman, right? Our 3rd Superman in the same amount of time. Like, you know, there's too many heroes out there. And they just want to keep on playing over the same heroes time and time again. Because, again, they're just trying to cash in on those names. Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. That's why those guys have been rebooted and remade over and over and over again.
There's too much superhero fatigue. Like you said, me and him were talking about this earlier. The Flash movie. Go ahead and say what you can say.
The Flash movie, the CGI, a lot of things just wasn't true to like.
Now, before I go, check out the Rengoku. What have I been telling you? Cats are more into anime than ever, okay? Rengoku from Demon Slayer, all right? This cat is dressed up like Rengoku talking about comic books, but look what he's dressed as. Again, that tells you everything you need to know when it comes to this stuff, all right? Let me back up a little bit. But yeah, these guys, that's the future, man. Anime, because anime does it right. And, you know, they don't oversaturate. Look, there's a ton of anime out there. You never hear about anime fatigue, right? Oh, it's too much anime. You never hear about anime fatigue, do you? Why? Why don't you hear about anime fatigue? Because all of it is quality. A1 content. That's why. And this guy is showing you right here, hey, he's into the A1 content. Let me just back that up a bit.
Too much superhero fatigue. Like you said, me and him were talking about this earlier. The Flash movie. Go ahead and say what you can say.
The Flash movie, the CGI, a lot of things just wasn't true to like Barry Allen.
He's not this bumbling dummy. That's Wally West, even though Wally West matures, because he's my favorite Flash, respectfully.
Okay, so the first thing he said was CGI. The CGI in Flash was absolutely trash, all right? But the point he made, yeah, that wasn't Barry Allen at all right? That was Barry Allen in name only. That's not the Barry Allen fans grew up with. And that's the way a lot of these characters are. They're just the character in name only. Just like Bruce Banner really comes to mind when I think of somebody like that. Like, you were watching the entire time, like, who the hell is this dude? This ain't Bruce Banner, y'all. Okay, I don't know who this cat is, but he's not Bruce Banner. You know, these dudes, they just don't get the characters right. And see, not getting the characters right, that has more to do with bad writing, not superhero fatigue, all right? Nothing to do with the superhero fatigue, because you're not even giving us like the real character from the comics or even from the cartoons in some cases. They're not giving us any of those real, actual, characteristics of Barry Allen, of Bruce Banner. They're giving us their version of it because, again, they don't understand the franchise. They don't understand the character. They don't understand the fans. They don't understand the expectations of the fans when it comes to this particular franchise or this character. So they're just going to give you their version, which is not the version we want. We want the version that's in the books. Give us the version in the books. And what you do really, because I know what they're thinking. They're thinking, oh man, regular people, the general audience, they don't care about, this character or whatever. They don't even know this character. So we'll run out there and we'll give them our version of the character. But your version of the character isn't time tested. All right. Barry Allen, Bruce Banner, and all of these characters, they have been around forever. These are time-tested characters. Different iterations of these characters have been tried. Some succeeded, some failed. So you should be going with the ones that, hey man, this is the one that brought all the boys to the yard. This was the best run of this particular character in this comic. That's what you should be looking to do instead of just running off and doing your own shit. Because guess what? If you don't adapt it correctly, it's no different with Lord of the Rings, all right? It's no different with Star Wars. It doesn't matter what it is. If you don't adapt it correctly, you're not giving the general audience, who doesn't know anything about this franchise, you're not giving them a real look at what makes this franchise great. And you're also not giving them a look at what makes this character great, the way this character actually is. See, that's the problem with Hollywood, is that they cannot write characters like Bruce Banner and Barry Allen. Can't write characters smarter than yourself, Hollywood. That's their biggest issue. We were talking about this on Echo Base Network last night on the live stream, how the old sci-fi writers, okay, those are actual like sci-fi guys, science guys, like engineers, chemists, nerds, doctors, right? Michael Crichton, for instance, who wrote Jurassic Park, who wrote the Andromeda Strain, Sphere, Congo, like these kind of science fiction, novels. He was also a doctor, okay? He actually got his MD from Harvard. And this guy knew his, science. He was a scientist at the same time he was a writer. I don't think he ever practiced as a doctor, but he got his MD from Harvard. So that means he had that in his background. And that means that being a nerd and being into geek stuff, science fiction, that was always a part of who he was. Okay. And that was the thing about all of the writers back in the day that we don't have now. Now these guys, they're just like activists. Okay. And that's what enters into a lot of this stuff. Their activism. They don't want to put that in their own content. They're taking over superhero content and it's just coming out to be trash. You guys know I'm gonna never get tired of bringing this one up. Filmmakers as comic book fans raises red flags. Marvel says Marvel has many fans, but producer Nate Morris says that movies made by some of those fans are not always a good idea. Yeah, they're red flags. All right. So instead of going out there and actually getting real comic book nerd fans that grew up on this stuff, that made this stuff popular, oh, we reject that iteration of Barry Allen. Give us this one. This is the one that we're going to buy and we're going to get super hard into. Instead of doing that and going out there and getting the people that know the material, they know everything that's been tried. And they know which ones succeeded and failed. Instead of doing that, no, we're going to go ahead and hire some woke activist writer, and he's going to churn out trash that nobody's going to like, except him and his dumb friends in Hollywood.
I feel like Marvel and DC nowadays are focusing too much on star power as opposed to storyline.
Especially with Marvel nowadays, like I think it's more quantity over quality. What The Boys is doing, how like last season came out last year and this next season isn't coming out till next year. 2 years is a long time, but I think the quality makes up for all that time missing.
Yeah, I think these 2 points, the star power over storyline, quantity over quality, I agree. Both are true because these studios don't care about anything but the IP. They have a brand that they can make money off of. That's the whole point. That's why you reboot stuff, because we just got to refresh the brand. A new Superman, a new Batman, all right? And I can slap that brand, that new branded Superman or Batman or Spider-Man. I can slap that new logo on a t-shirt, on a lunchbox. I can make action figures. That's all they're doing, okay? Even if the film doesn't do amazing numbers at the box office, we can make it up on the back end with the merch. We can cash in on that. George Lucas started that trend, basically saying, oh yeah, make money off the merch. You own the merchandising rights, you own it all. So it's like, okay, but now we got to get this brand out there and keep this thing hot. We got to keep it in the marketplace so that people can go out there and buy all of our crap instead of actually making good content. But then what happens? You actually lose people because now you got folks talking about superhero fatigue. All right. And again, that's the game that the studios have been playing. That's why you need the star power. All right. That's why you need the star power. That's why you need more quantity. Okay? We got to keep churning content, churning out content and throwing it on the screen for the people to watch, you know? So that way the consumer is still consuming your brand, your merch, all of that.
Sometimes you want to think that there's superhero fatigue, but you want to reach back into those good childhood memories and remember that some of these things were just on paper. Seeing it come to life is a dream come true. So I got to appreciate all the good vibes and good energy while you can.
Young Justice. I've been a huge Young Justice fan first it came out, and then when it came back to HBO Max.
Yo, I have been asking for Young Justice to come out forever and a damn day. Man, I know T would be happy to see this. Young Justice, where is that at? They need to come and bring that out. Absolutely. I think we talked about it. Me and Tia talked about it one time on a video somewhere. But yeah, Young Justice would be awesome. I don't know what's taking them so long. I've said they should have started with the Teen Titans and then kind of rotate into Young Justice. That would be amazing. But, you know, again, these cats are too dumb to realize it. They don't know what the fans want, man. They absolutely have no clue.
I was watching it every time it released. I feel like the live action Young Justice would be awesome.
Has to be Batman Beyond. I need a Terry McGinnis. I need to see an old Batman.
Man, these guys is in my head. Because that was the next one I was thinking of. And I was like, probably Batman Beyond would be next. If I could think of one that, you know, hasn't been done. Green Lantern was there too. It's like they haven't really given us a good Green Lantern show or movie or anything. So it's like, okay, give us Green Lantern. But then I was like, yeah, you know, everybody loves Batman. Give us, and we were talking about that, remember, when it came to Michael Keaton. It said, what if Michael Keaton came in with Batman Beyond? Man, these guys, everybody's talking about it. Do you think the studios are listening? Of course they're not listening. You think James Gunn is listening to this? You think he's listening to us? Of course not. James Gunn is smarter than everybody. That's why he's not going to listen to this crap. Unbelievable, man.
I need to see, you know, the new Jokers.
I feel like personally we need a Batman Beyond. I've been craving that. I'm tired of seeing Batman restart over and over and over and over and over. Batman Beyond was way better than Batman could ever be, let's be honest. And Batman Beyond having...
All right, so I don't know about that, okay? I love Batman Beyond, but better than Batman? Nah, I don't think so. But, I mean, I would go there. I would absolutely go there with it. And just, yeah, let's go ahead and get Michael Keaton. Just throw him out there. All right, old man Bruce. Get Terry McGinnis. Find you a Terry McGinnis. Let's go. Man, what's taking these guys so long, man?
Batman mentor him? Yeah. Come on, that's everything we need.
I love Powerpuff Girls, and I was really hoping that, I remember hearing that they were going to make live action, but I think it died in production, so I'd be really interested to see if they do.
But see, what were they going to do with Powerpuff Girls? You remember the one that she was talking about? What were they going to do with that? They were going to completely screw it up. It was going to be older Powerpuff Girls. They was going to be into their little girl boss feminism bullshit. All right. Instead of just making 3 little cute girls. All right. Going up against Mojo, Jojo and all of that. Nope. It was going to be these older Powerpuff Girls going through their midlife or girl crisis or whatever. You know, again, they don't know what the fans want. They just completely missed the boat on all of this stuff. It's just hilarious.
Like another live action one.
All right. I think that's it. I think that's it for that video. But yeah, man, I mean, again, this is the stuff we're talking about when it comes to superhero fatigue. Number one, they're just giving us content that nobody's asking for, characters that nobody's asking for, you know, and then when they do give us the character we do ask for, they don't do the character right. You know, they completely go off the rails with it instead of giving the fans what they want. And again, that's because these guys like Kevin Feige, they think they're smart and they think they understand the fan base, and they don't. And they don't listen to the fans. Now they're listening, okay? But why are they listening now? They're listening now. Yeah, here's why they're listening now. They're like, ah, shit, man, the Marvels is only tracking for 75 million opening weekend. That's why they're listening. Because nobody's checking for this stuff anymore, all right? The fans have completely checked out. They're done. People are finished. They say, all right, you know what? Done with this crap. Let's move on, all right? We had our fun. Endgame was great. What's new? Okay, what's next? Because they haven't figured out how to hold on to those fans. They had them for a minute. But then they lost them because they kept pushing all kind of woke ideology into their content instead of actually just giving us comic book content, you know? And so, yeah, they say, well, it's the latest test of superhero fatigue. It's not superhero fatigue. Again, we just said it's all about bad movie fatigue. You keep making bad movie after bad movie, all right? And it's not just the box office either, all right? We saw what happened with Secret Invasion. We're seeing what's happening right now with Loki, where there's zero buzz about this thing. Nobody's talking about it. Nowhere on Twitter, nowhere on social media are people absolutely discussing Loki to a great degree. And, you know, I'm still waiting for the numbers for Samba TV. They said they're going to maybe push something out there, you know, for the mid-year numbers. We'll see what happens. But, I mean, nobody's talking about this film or this show. And nobody's talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And nobody's checking for the Marvels. You know, that's the bottom line. So anyway, folks, you guys tell me what you think. Do you think that superhero fatigue is starting to hit its all-time height right now with where DC is at, with where Marvel is at? You know, we got stuff coming. They mentioned The Boys, and you got Invincible, and you got a few other shows that are out there. But are we kind of done? I think that Marvel and DC can make a resurgence. I think they can come back, but they're going to really have to, like, nail some of these characters. And they're going to have to start inviting fans, okay? I seen fans as how they called it red flags, okay? None of this red flag crap, all right? No, these guys are green flags, okay? Hey, let's get these guys in here. Tell us what to do and go, you know? That's what we need. We need fans back in the mix, all right? Not these woke activists. But you guys let me know what you think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.